Hello and welcome to Health Matters, coming to you on Channels Television. Thanks for joining us. I am Mary Alale Yusuf. Contrary to hopes and expectations, not every child is born with the common definition of normal faculties. Unfortunately, many live in denial of mental conditions because they equate them with madness or being crazy. Autism spectrum disorder, called ASD for short, is a group of conditions present from early childhood, identified by difficulty with verbal and non-verbal communication skills, among other things. According to the World Health Organization, 1 in 160 children has an autism spectrum disorder. It also notes that all around the world, people with ASD suffer stigma and human rights violations. Our guest on the show is a consultant psychiatrist at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, Dr. Peter Ogunobi. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're no longer at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital.
Lagos now.
Now you have your own outfit, but
yes.
you know, we're used to that. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Mary.
The first thing that, strikes me is that 1 in 160. If 1 in 160, it means they're everywhere.
Well, there is even a research that have shown that 1 in 120.
1 in 120.
And then I came across one last week, 1 in 85.
Is it because of better research methods, or is it increasing?
Well, that question has always come up. And to say either is to explain it better. One, it could be because people are getting to know what autism spectrum disorders are. It could also be because there are many factors that are now causing increase in the incidence. By incidence, I want to break my English down. By incidence, I mean the rate.
At which
So
it's
I
happening.
cannot, so I cannot come and say, no, it is not because there is increase in incidence or the rate at which it's happening, or no, it's because people are getting aware. I say it's a combination of both factors.
Okay, now, they talked about, in all these researches, problems with verbal and non-verbal communication. Is this common to the whole spectrum? Because by spectrum, I understand that there will be different disorders within that spectrum. Yeah. Is this common to all of them? Well, and are there others?
Yeah, let me try to break it down. And that is, when you talk about autistic spectrum disorder, you're talking about autism that we have been talking about, autism. You're talking about pervasive developmental disorder. By developmental disorder means there is a problem with development.
Okay.
Okay? And then we have the other one, which is Asperger. Asperger is also part of autism. But they realize that among this set of people, they do better. Unlike a typical autism, that you talk of mental retardation and other things. So because of that, they realize that I cannot find this person has autism, but he's doing well. Fine artistry, they are good in mathematics, music, but they have problem with social relationship. They cannot form bond. All the social virtues, they ignore. Fine, but they are good in this area. They are not mentally retarded like this one. So because of that, we have the autistic spectrum disorder. So, but by and large, they are still under a particular problem, which is problem with behavior.
Okay. The
behavior is found to be repetitive or restricted. And then they have problem with social interaction, and they have problem with communication.
Okay. Now, when people talk about non-verbal communication, what are we saying there?
If, for example, now, a child is sitting, because you expect that by 4 months, a child should be interested in faces. Mm-hmm. So the father comes in and smiles, and the child
smiles back.
But you begin to notice that the child will just be looking. And that progresses 18 months. This child is supposed to be interested in his or her environment, but the child is just there. You say, oh, you want to carry the child. That is a non-verbal cue, stretching your hands.
That's right.
And the child is just looking.
In fact, a lot of children stretch their hands.
That is a normal reaction. So that normal reaction is lost. And then you say, oh, we call it proto-imperative. It means, say, look, you expect the child to turn and follow your hand. Or the child wants something and proto-declarative, that is, daddy, dad. But
even at 1 year, that happens.
2 years, you expect. But this time around, you say, look, child's looking at you. Or it's not even, they don't even know whether you are around. It's as if you become an invisible being. You say you want to cry, they don't
What causes this? Does something go wrong in the brain when they're developing?
Well, obviously, the unfortunate thing about autism, autistic spectrum disorder is up till now, we cannot say this is a particular cause. What people talk about risk factors. As a matter of fact, Dr. Phil Wakefield, sometimes ago in 1998, published a journal, a research in Lancet, and said they were able to study 12, and they discovered that mumps, measles, and rubella vaccine, and that caused a lot of problem. But it was retracted 12 years after.
Okay.
That
so there's no connection with the mumps, measles, and rubella vaccine.
There's no connection.
And nobody can find what the connection is.
People have talked about synapses in the brain. People have talked about, people are trying to find out. But the problem is that when you say, okay, there's a problem here, you just realize that those who are not autistic also have the same problem. Okay. So you cannot cone it down other than, okay, increased maternal age. Okay, infections during pregnancy, like HIV, rubella, all those things. Okay, mercury. Maybe mercury in some of the creams the women, some of our women, they use.
Okay, wait, so just before you go on with the creams, I'm interested in these creams. Okay. Are they special creams? Are they bleaching creams? Or are we all using them?
Mary, you should know now. That's why, I mean, you are the one that uses it. I don't cream, for example.
Okay.
But the truth is that people don't check the cream they use. So you see a pregnant woman, maybe skin toning creams and co. They don't see the mercurial content. Some